What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Got a couple knives in front of me. Both are coming in from Tuya, and they are the Wrath V2. Well, this one's the drop point, obviously, and this one's the Tonto. But we're going to do this final review, just kind of do them together. No sense in doing two different videos over two different knives, just because the only thing different is pretty much the blade shape, right? Kind of, pointless. But like I said, this is the Tonto one, and this is the drop point. Now, both are pretty good knives overall. I'll give it that, but there's a couple things I didn't like, and I'll definitely get into those, just because you want to know what you're getting into when you spend good money on knives. Just one thing real quick is these thumb studs. I love the way they look. I don't know why. I think they look pretty cool. They look like a barrel to me, kind of like a drum barrel, something like that. With the lines and everything like that. And they're nice and milled, and they're like I said, they're nice. It's just they're sharp, and that's the problem. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. It's that top one that's the sharpest, obviously. But when you try to, I stopped using them because they eat my thumb and my fingers. I can't reverse flip it very well. As you can see, I'm trying. Um, that's the only thing. I think some of my problem is also with the frame lock. Um, I don't know why I cannot reverse flip this knife. Like it is, I try to get used to it. I've tried to adjust, and I always find myself not able to get it. Plus, it's sharps too, so it's like a double-edged sword. It's two things that are right there together that cause problems. And I don't think it's anything with the detent or the frame lock being too strong. I think it's just how big and where the frame lock is located. Like I feel like it's a little too thick. That I have problems with my fingers, like keeping it off to the side where I'm going to be able to like flip it open and reverse flip it. Because even when I thumb flip it, like I still want to put my fingers there, but even when I adjust and keep my fingers off of it, like it's still, I have to really put some muscle into it. So you're right there, like my fingers want to go there immediately. And if it was just a little bit smaller, that would be a big difference right there. Like for my hands, maybe it's just me, it would be a phenomenal difference for me, and that would be a game changer for these knives. But again, like I guess you could probably dull them down yourself, maybe a little sandpaper or something like that, kind of just rub that little sharpness out of it. But it's on both sides and both knives, so that's something that kind of gets me. But I cannot reverse flip it. Maybe like I said, that maybe if this was just a tad smaller, I'd be able to reverse flip it too. But I still can't even, because my thumb or my finger, my middle finger, it still wants to get in the way of that, and then I have to really see, like I'm not even on anything, and I'm still getting my finger on there, pushing it in enough to where it's going to be a pain in the butt. Now I have noticed that like if you have to really kind of almost sideways. Let me show you right there. Like you have to get sideways with it if you really want to. Again, it's a little sharp, so it's going to cause you a little bit of problem. But usually I don't go completely sideways with it on my knives, but I don't know why. It's just that frame lock. Maybe that's obviously why they have extra right here cut out of it, just so that is what it is. It does flip open a lot easier like that if you want to buy one for reference, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, just remember that. Like, usually I kind of just want to go not up, not sideways, just that perfect, like, middle ground. But with this, you can't really do that because, for one, you're going to light yourself up with that thumb stud. But you definitely sideways. So that's something, if you can live with that, kind of, or if you're good with that, honestly, if you're good with sideways and always kind of doing that, like right there, I couldn't do it. Um, but overall, like that, that's really it. The main problems, one thing is this thing is kind of sharp too, kind of show you real quick. Right there is a little bit sharp, not too shabby, but it's real easy to flip still. But after a while, I noticed that you definitely kind of feel it digging in a little bit. Don't like to reverse flip it like or front flip it like this. It does kind of dig in again also because right in there is a little sensitive, not sensitive, but a little not as calloused, I guess. And plus, if it's a little more aggressive, I would say honestly, not all of the jimping is aggressive. It's just this one that one. This one. Let me see if I can show you right. Small as it is, it's this one right here, right in front of my nail, and then that right there. So I think they were just trying to get it turned. Obviously, I get it to go with the front flipper, turning it, and just the angle of it was just a little sharper than the others, obviously. And I think that's what it is. But front flipping is not bad. It's really not overall. Um, I'm not trying to knock these knives. I think people will like them, and I think they look good too. I would prefer the drop point over the Tonto just because I feel like the Tonto isn't as Tonto-y, if that's a word. I feel like it could be a little more, I don't know, like direct. I don't know what the word I'm trying to say is, but I feel like it's a more almost like drop point. Like when I got these knives, they were in the wrong box because they looked so close the same. The person who had these before me mixed them up, which is I can see why because they are very very similar. Like obviously you can tell like there is obviously a nice little curve and belly, but like there's not much of a stop point right there. It's very very light. But no, it's overall people might, and that's just me. People just might love them. Like I said, they have a nice grind, compound grind on them too. They're just beautiful looking. I do love black, so they got me there. They suckered me there. Let's get links real quick for you. My little trusty measuring tape out. Cutting edge is going to be about 3 inches for the Tonto, and about 7.6 for the overall. I do not know if they're the same. About 3 inches also for the blade for the drop point, and about okay. So these are about the same. About the daggone, they are the same length and everything. So maybe that's why the blade shapes are like they are, like with this. Maybe that's why so they can make them the same. So overall, not bad. You got a little choil right there, so you can choke up a little bit. I would say it's more for sharpening than anything, because if you try to choke up on it, you're gonna kind of light yourself up a little bit. I think I'm kind of iffy on stuff like that. I think it's more for sharpening, so I would just keep that in mind. Don't know if I told you it's S90V, so you have great premium materials on both of these. Let's get a scale out real quick and weigh it for you guys. Now I don't even know. Excuse me. I don't even know if they're gonna weigh differently. I'm kind of curious about that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's get this scale now. So that's 4.2. So they're a little heavy. Not bad though. 4.2. So they are exactly the same weight. They are exactly the same length. That's kind of cool, I guess. Like kind of cool they did that. Not really much to say. Just those price. Now that's another thing that is kind of a tricky thing. It is a $280 price point. So they're a little expensive for what you get. Kind of just depends on what you like. If you like the way they look, if you can live with the thumb studs, that's my thing. That's honestly, if I had to pick anything, it's the thumb studs. Like I can live with flipping open a knife like that sideways a little bit with my finger. It's just the thumb studs. They're just sharp and they kind of eat my thumb up. So this would be a knife I would get, but I probably would not carry very often just because of that reason. And that's my preference. I think if you kind of, like I said, dulled those down, like, excuse me again, if you kind of dulled them down and like got them to where they're not so sharp, I think they would be perfect for you. Let's check the screws real quick because I did not check those. We got a T8, T8. So everything is T8 except for the frame lock screw. So that's pretty nice right there. At least they're not all T6 and you strip them. Again, I did say frame lock earlier. I didn't say how they locked, obviously, but they are frame lock. I did talk about the frame lock, just didn't say that specifically. That's really all I got. Overall, I would give it to be a pretty good knife, just with a few little things here and there. You know, that's kind of with most knives. You know, you're not going to always get that perfect knife, unless you pay good money for it. But for 280, I would pass on this for me preferably because 280 is a lot of money, and I could find like a Kunwu Padre for about that price. They have the X Tau or the X Padre now. Chad, love the Chads. Devo Lush for 200 bucks. Not quite the same materials, you know, obviously because they have like carbon fiber. Kind of just what you prefer, but good knife. If you want it, get it. If you don't, obviously I understand. Oh, got a little lanyard hole right there too. Little guy right there. Titanium backspacer too. Just little stuff I forgot to say. I do like how it's all blacked out except for the screws. It kind of is a good look. But that's all I really got. If you guys have any comments or anything like that, leave it in the comment section. If you have anything else to say, just let me know. If you guys liked the video, just leave a thumbs up. Thanks.